Hi everyone, welcome back. I just wanted to take you through a few of my favourite things from the Chanel Autumn Winter 17 collection, which is called Travel Diary. I posted a picture of some of the bits and pieces from the collection onto my Instagram, and loads of people wanted to know more about it. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Everything looks absolutely gorgeous and right up my street, but actually there were a couple of surprise things that I wasn't so impressed with, so I thought I would take you through. Oh, first of all, before we start, Chanel have started doing these really lovely retractable brushes. I don't know whether you've seen these. This is the concealer blender one. So it's got a pickup brush for cream concealer that side, and then it's got a fluffy brush for sort of blending it in. Or I've been using it with the Bobbi Brown concealer duo, which has a cream concealer and then it's got a powder. So I use it on the powder to sort of set the concealer underneath my eyes. And it works really well. And I just love it because they look really, really chic. But you can just throw them into your handbag or makeup bag and they don't get covered in bits of crap, whatever it is that you've got lying about in your bag. Or even if when it's your makeup bag, there's bits of dried mascara and stuff. So really like those. Anyway, onto the proper collection, the Longwear Cream Eyeshadow. And this is in shade Memory. It's really gorgeous, look at that. It's very, very beautiful as just a wash of colour over the eyelid. I quite like to use it as a base, these Longwear ones, and they really do stay in place for quite a long time. So if you need something to sort of stay for the majority of the day, you can see it going on here. You can see it's a really beautiful, beautiful wash. And you know, some metallics can look a bit aging on the eyelids. They're a little bit too sparkly and weird. This one doesn't. It's a really classy sort of metallic, if that makes any sense. Also, I'd like to say that there is a bit of a metallic sheen going on with the lipstick, isn't there? Which I'm not normally into, but I really, really like this one. It's like a peachy, neutral metallic, but I'll get to that. So the eye quad. This one is in Road Movie. Love these shades because they're just neutrals, and I always go for neutrals. However, it gets boring just going on about neutrals and browns all the time, doesn't it? And the nude smoky eye. So I've gone in with this one, which is like a sort of dirty navy, which doesn't have a huge amount of payoff. And so the navy isn't like your punchy, very dark, deep kind of navy. You can see it's just underneath the eye. It gives a little bit of definition, but it's quite smoked out, so you could use it all over the lid. It would look really beautiful. But it's this one. My brain has completely gone today. Would I call that teal? Or I think that is a teal sort of shade, isn't it? And I've used that underneath just as this gorgeous sort of peacocky pop of colour, and I really, really like it. It's not something I'd normally go for, but it's just a bit interesting, isn't it? Don't you think? So I really like that quad, but I think for me, my favourite things are these two lipsticks that I'm about to show you. Something I didn't like, the Rouge Allure Ink in Highway. You would think that I would love this colour because it's a real sort of neon fluoro liquid lipstick that gives a really, look at that, really sort of bright peach. However, I don't really like the formula of it. I don't like the formula of any of these Rouge Allure inks. I love Chanel lip products, but I just think this one doesn't live up to the hype. I find it really hard to apply it. This applicator just seems to be always the wrong shape, and I haven't been able to get it right with any of the shades that I've used. It might be just me being a complete moron, I don't know. Let me know what your experience with these are. As I said, I love pretty much all Chanel lip products. They just do them so, so well. The shades are always brilliant, but this one just doesn't do it for me. Even though Highway, I think, is a very exciting colour, especially against all of these sort of murky bits and pieces. However, what I have on is Daylight, and this is the Ultra Hydrating Lip colour, Rouge Cocoa Ultra Hydrating, and it is really hydrating. I've been wearing it all week, and I do get to a couple of hours later and think, wow, my lips don't feel dry, it feels quite bouncy. It's not quite a tinted lip balm, that much of a moisture, but it's getting there, and it's definitely not drying in the slightest. And this colour, I think, is really very interesting. It's quite modern. I mean, I love these sort of peachy neutrals, but I like it with a bit of shimmer in. Normally I would completely die a death at the thought of that sort of thing. But I think that with the peachy colour, it's very modern and very, very cool. And then the other colour that we have going on is First Light. And this is one of the Rouge Allure Velvets. Don't know whether you've seen this amazing packaging, but look. You've seen these before? Click, click. They've been doing them for years, but still, I don't know, I find it really pleasing. Look at that. Click, click. Out it comes. And yeah, this is First Light, and it's a really great bright orange red. So you can see that going on there. Very, very chic. Actually, I think would make a great summer shade. So it's a bit of an all-rounder. If you want to have something bright and perky to take you through winter, but you'll also be able to wear with a little bit of a sun-kissed, listen to me thinking about summer 2018, but you know, it's raining outside and I just feel quite depressed about it. Bring on next summer, that's what I say. So yeah, a really good all year round colour, I think, that one. Very, very impressed with that indeed. And then we have the murkiness of our nail shades. We have Horizon Line, which is this sort of greenish grey. And these are both the new Longwear formula. And the one that I'm wearing, which is New Dawn. And I think this is gorgeous. Look at that. It's got a really sort of purpley lilac undertone to that one. So they're both quite grey. But I really like this one. I was really quite surprised. It's slightly darker than you'd think it'd be in the bottle. Looks very, very chic and very neat on the nails. So very pleased with that one. But you know, we don't want to big up the collection too much. So let's end on a little bit of a confused note, because I don't get what to do with this at all. This is the Essential palette, and it's conceal, highlight and colour. I get the concealing and the highlighting thing. This is in shade Beige Medium. There are 3 shades altogether. Perhaps I'd have been better with the light one. I'm not sure. The concealer I get is a very, very large amount of concealer. So I've actually been using it with a foundation brush when I'm out and about, which this isn't. This is a concealer brush. But I've been using it with a foundation brush and just using it for touch-ups. Because otherwise I sort of don't get why you would need that much concealer. But you know, it's a nice formula, nice and creamy, sets quite well. And then you've got a highlighter, which isn't a shimmery sort of highlighter, it's just a bit of a gleam for the tops of the cheeks. See that blending on in there, hopefully. I mean, I think that's absolutely gorgeous. That highlighter. A bit on the bridge of the nose, and not on the end of the nose. I wish people would stop highlighting the end of the nose, because it's just weird. The end of your nose already catches a light. I just don't see why you need to highlight the bulbous end of your nose. I mean, maybe you've got a much nicer nose than me and you just want to draw attention to the end of it, but odd. Okay, so that's those bits, but then what is this for, this colour? I've tried it on the cheeks, look. But it's much, really, I think, much too dark. I mean, I say that, but actually, it's quite cool, popped right in the hollow of the cheek next to your ear. I've done it that side already, just to create a little bit of a sudden cheekbone drop-off. That's what we could call it. Maybe I'm going to have to eat my words with this palette, because I did think it was slightly weird. But actually, that's not too bad, is it? I mean, I don't know, what do you think about that? I think it gives quite a nice shape. However, for the eyes, I mean, I'm going to be putting it over powder here, so it's not ideal. But if you were just placing that in the outer corners like that, look, can you see how that's added depth? I mean, I don't think it's almost something that I would use all the time. Maybe it would be. I'm really backtracking here. I just don't know what to think about this. I mean, it says essential palette. Is it essential? I don't know. I mean, maybe you could pare it all down and just have this and really just work with these tones and it would look fabulous. Maybe that's a slightly different video. I don't know. The jury is still out on this one. Let me just redo my hair so I don't look like a monk. Not a monk, a page boy, medieval page boy. So there you go, just a little sort of potter through a few of the things that I think are really gorgeous from this collection. Hope that you've enjoyed that, and I shall do a post on my website as well with a few more pictures so you can look at things close up. Make sure you subscribe if you fancy seeing more of my videos, and I'll see you next time.